Bro. I know you need to
So everybody remembers Grace Jabbari, right? This is the lady that's going to trial with Jonathan Majors, his ex-girlfriend. Well, she was placed under arrest, albeit not for very long, but arrest is still arrest. So according to the NYPD, she was charged with misdemeanor assault with the intent to cause physical harm and criminal mischief. Grace, who's 30 years old now, and Jonathan, who's 34 years old. So the way this goes is Grace had turned herself into the police on Wednesday at the 10th precinct for allegedly striking Jonathan sometime earlier this year. The accusation being put forth is that she had smacked and scratched him with an open hand, cutting his cheek, so apparently he didn't have her money on time. On one particular altercation, it even caused some of his buttons to be removed from one of his coats. That part actually hurt me because I like Jonathan's coats. Now, if this claim sounds familiar to anybody, it's because it's the exact same thing that she said that he did to her. That he smacked her in the face with an open hand, which led to pain and laceration behind her ear. Her attorney, though, Ross Kramer, he confirmed that she had turned herself into the police in connection with the alleged March 25th incident involving herself and Jonathan. He even went about stating that Grace is super strong. This is his quote now. Grace is super strong. We are disappointed when survivors are treated like perpetrators. Even though to this day, Jonathan Majors' attorney continues to reiterate that we have more than enough sufficient evidence to the contrary. Or in short, she's saying that she's lying. This is why one of Jonathan's lawyers, Dustin Push, also put out a statement saying that with her arrest yesterday, the public learned that the NYPD determined probable cause exists to charge Grace Jabbari for the crimes she committed against Jonathan Majors. The decision came after the NYPD's thorough and lengthy investigation, but instead of acting on the findings from law enforcement, the district attorney's office unilaterally and without explanation has decided not to prosecute Ms. Jabbari for her misdeeds and the documented injuries she caused Mr. Majors or Jonathan, whichever. This is why I said it was an arrest, but it was short-lived. Not that I'm pushing for or against, because until the absolute truth comes out, you can't take a side. I will just say though, I'll be heavily surprised if he loses this case. And even though they're not going to prosecute Grace Jabbari, Jonathan did put it out there that at the very least, he's happy that the NYPD corroborated his story. This is probably something that they're going to use as evidence in the trial, if it does go forward. Although some may look at this as kind of sideways because it does kind of look like if the prosecutor is not using full discretion or going forward with due process, nor equal protection under the law, because it was very clear that their side wanted to press charges. So Jonathan, he has 3 counts of assault in the 3rd degree, 1 of aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree, and 3 counts of attempted assault in the 3rd degree, and 1 count of harassment in the 2nd degree. And with the date of this trial having been pushed back once again, I believe it's supposed to start somewhere around November 29th. If he is convicted, he could face up to a year behind bars. And we do know that a little while ago, his lawyer had tried to have the whole case dismissed just based on the evidence alone presented. But that request was unsuccessful. What they were alluding to was some of the video evidence that had been put out there of her going to parties, her using her finger, even though she said that it was broken, her meeting up with a few different people after the alleged assault, going to clubs on the exact same night. So in short, their case is there was nothing wrong with her. Whatever happened to her happened after the fact when she had snuck back into his house, and then while she was drunk, she fell down, hurt herself, broke her finger on that night, and then now is turning around to blame him. But what is it that you guys think? Do you think they should have gone forward with the charges that Jonathan had laid out? That equal justice means that it doesn't matter who brings the charge, when they bring the charge, or how small the charge is. If there's a case of assault, you bring it forward and then let the person be held accountable. Or do you think maybe it was too small of a case that they really just didn't need to bother with this? Do you think they'll use it as evidence? And ultimately, when this trial goes forward, based on the evidence that we know so far, do you think he'll get off, or do you think he'll face conviction? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We will be following up with this trial, and I'll see you guys again for the next one. Be easy, y'all.
Yo, bro. I know you need